everybody. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. As you know, sometimes I do an interview with my close friends that allow me to introduce them to you, and they are willing to take their mask off and be honest and share a moment of their lives. Today, you get to meet my wonderful friend, and I just love her. I know you're going to, so stay tuned. Meet Sue and learn all about her travel plans and why she's doing what she's doing today. Hi everybody, and thank you for being here. This is my great friend Sue, and I just love her, and I do. And I can't wait for you to meet her. We have had the best time. We are filming this at the Waterloo Park. It's a Lynn County Park in Oregon. And Sue put me here for 2 weeks so that we could spend time together and get to know each other. And it's just been heavenly, hasn't it?
It has.
We've had the best time.
It's passed so fast.
Yeah.
It's just been amazing. Yeah.
By the time you see this, I will have moved on down the road, but I leave tomorrow morning, and we both were in shock when it kind of dawned on us that it's done. It went fast, and I don't know about you, but my cheeks hurt from laughing.
Yes.
We've had a good time.
Yes.
One of the things that I do here on my channel is I interview people, and we talk about taking the mask off and getting real. And Sue is willing to do that today, and I appreciate that because I think her story is going to help a lot of people. So before we dive in, I just want to say that I have a lot of friends out here that have lost their spouses, but both ways, widows and widowers, and of course that is a life-changing event. And you lost your Tom unexpectedly.
Yeah, after 53 years of marriage.
Yes. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because they went camping a lot and started off in vehicle camping.
A canvas tent, and then we moved up.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
I have enjoyed.
thank you.
You're welcome. I have enjoyed the stories about Tom and wish I could have met him.
Yeah.
What a wonderful, humorous, loving, larger than life guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and there are a lot of people that have lost their spouses, and so many that want to get on the road, but that going by yourself, I think especially when you've lost a long-term spouse, can be daunting. Was that a good word?
Yes.
Can be daunting to say the least. So you lost Tom 3 years ago. You're getting on your feet, learning who Sue is as a solo single in the world.
Yes.
And we are doing something exciting this afternoon. You want to share with them what it is?
I just bought a new house that I'm going to be moving into. It's going to be my house. Where I'm living now has always been our house. Yeah. And I'm learning, and Debra has helped with this lesson, that I need to find out who I am without Tom. And so that's the journey I'm on right now.
I get to see it this afternoon for the first time.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
There is a special feature that the house has. You want to tell them about it?
Yes, on the side of the house there's a double gate that opens up that's big enough that if I decide I want to get another RV, I can put it in there. Or Debra can come back and visit, and I'll have a spot to put her. So that's, So one way or another, it will be utilized eventually.
So isn't that great? And that's just an added Benny of the house. It wasn't. It was just like
It was not a priority.
But when we drove by it, it was like and what?
Yes. Karma.
It just and that universal flow, meeting a need. When you get a direction and a path, and you're doing it.
Yes.
In conjunction, I believe, with spiritual flow and doing the next right thing, doors just open and everything works out beautifully. Because you had looked at, I even went with you, we looked at some pretty bad, not bad homes, but that were not Sue.
I told Debra, I said, it feels like the fairy tale I've kissed a lot of frogs before I found the prince I was looking for.
Housewives.
Housewives, yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, well.
Because I just, well, we're on the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
we want to be
web,
really,
okay.
really clear.
Yeah.
But yes, and this house is just perfect.
Perfect
Congratulations.
for me. Thank you.
Tell folks, if you can, I know I'm asking you to summarize 53 years, but this place, for example, was a very special place for you and Tom. And thank you for putting me up here, especially at this place.
This place, yes.
You guys took your kids, your grandkids, camping and going on road trips was your thing.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about that.
Well, we started out, like I said, in a canvas tent, and then we moved up. We bought an 8-foot camper, and it was 6 months later that we could afford to buy the pickup to put on the camper. Tom and I would sit in the driveway on Saturday mornings in the camper and have a cup of coffee and look at the road maps and talk about all the places we wanted to go.
Isn't that lovely? How many of us have done that before we
Exactly.
actually get to do what we want to?
So then we graduated from that to a 9.5-foot camper, and then we got an 18-foot fifth wheel that had my necessities of a bed, a bathroom, and a kitchen.
Yeah, she's a great cook.
Yeah. So
And quilter.
and quilter, yes.
Had a quilt shop. We'll get into that in a little bit.
And then we got a 24-foot fifth wheel. No slide outs or anything. Everything we bought was used, but we used them up too. And we traveled all over Oregon with the kids. We took a trip up into Canada. Tom and I, after he retired and I sold the quilt shop, we took a trip across the United States up into Maine and down the East Coast and then back the southern route to Oregon. I'd never camped before. I'm a Texas gal.
Yeah.
And
two Texas gals, and
yeah.
we meet in Oregon.
In Oregon,
But you've
yes.
lived here how long?
Oh gosh, I've lived here, well, almost 53 years now.
Yeah, because she was 19 when they got married,
Yes.
met in Texas, and immediately left Texas and came west with Tom.
Yeah, came west, yep. And so, you know, we just love traveling and being with the kids. There's a tree here in Waterloo Park that is quite bent, and all three of my grandchildren, that was the first tree they learned to climb. And I shared that with Debra. And, you know, this place holds a special spot in my heart because of all the fond memories. And, you know, Debra said, "Are you all right being out here, Sue?" And I said, "Oh, you would not believe how happy it makes me to be here."
We sat many hours
Yep.
beside the river just
Yep.
chatting and
Yep.
talking. And
So, yeah. I missed that. I still miss it.
And we're going to talk a little bit about how you are learning, as you said, life without Tom, moving forward and
Yeah.
incorporating y'all's love of
Right.
camping into that. And Sue has been such a wonderful, not only just turned into one of my best friends, but a wonderful hostess. I got to see my first waterfall with her. I got to go to the Oregon coast for the first time. We saw wild seals and filmed them. We've just had a blast. And after Tom died, because of y'all's love for camping and being on the road and everything, you thought, I'm going to continue that, and you bought a road trek.
I did. I bought a 2004 road trek because I wanted to continue camping. I kept it a year and sold it. I had two long trips in it, one with my grandson to Oregon, to Eastern Oregon, and the other with our German foreign exchange student who had come back to the States to visit.
And feels like family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Christian is just, he is literally my German grandson. So he and I took the road trek, and we went from Lebanon, Oregon to Sedona, Arizona, where my son and his wife had moved temporarily, and had to drop Christian off in Las Vegas so he could catch a flight back to Germany.
You drove your road trek through Las Vegas?
Yes. Yes.
Mighty woman here.
Well, I will have to admit, I didn't drive it through.
Oh, okay.
My daughter-in-law came back to
Okay.
Oregon with me, and she was the one who got to drive it through Las Vegas.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Well, I'm glad, because
Yes.
that can be
Yes.
hairy,
Oh,
white knuckle
yeah.
driving.
Yes, yes, yes. So after I got back, you know, what I had done was I was looking for us on these trips.
You and Tom.
Me and Tom. And it wasn't us. It was just me and my little dog Buckwheat. And it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still had not found what I needed and wanted. And it's taken me almost 3 years to reach that point.
And they tell you don't make any major changes for a year, and you did that. You
Right.
waited a year, but I tell you, from everything I hear, I think I would extend that to 2 years.
Yes.
And if you've had a long-term marriage, I mean, they tell you that for any major catastrophic event or change in your life, but I've been through this now with my sister and several friends, and I would say 2 years. So what did you end up doing with the road trek?
Well, I sold it, and pretty much just gave up on the idea of camping or going anyplace. You know, I just have kind of sat around, not feeling sorry for myself, but not really being happy with what I was doing. And
Active as active as you had been and
Yes.
want to be.
yes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if Tom were alive, he'd say, I had a come to Jesus moment. You know, it was like, okay, girl, you've been on your own long enough. Now it's time to figure out what it is you want to do with the rest of your life. Because I was telling Debra in one of the short stories that she wrote, there was a sentence in there that just I have always treasured, and that was that I've reached the point in my life where my time is measured in seconds and inches.
Yeah.
And so
I say that often.
yes, you know, I'm in August next month, 2 months from now, I'm going to be 76 years old. So
She runs circles around me. I can't keep up with her, and I'm not kidding.
yeah. So I, you know, like I said, seconds and inches, and there's a lot of them out there that I'm trying to find.
There's always something to be grateful for. And grief takes as long as grief takes.
Yes.
And you were in that process.
Yep.
I know Sue, and I just want to clarify that she was not wallowing. She was not focusing on the
Right.
negativity.
But
she was letting the water
there
settle.
was that
Yes.
undercurrent there, you know,
Yes.
just when I'd think I had overcome it, the wave would come in and knock me down, and I'd have to get back up, and you know how it is to walk in sand.
Yes,
You know.
and it feel like quicksand. Yes, we've all had our own stories of being there,
Absolutely.
done that, and I'm
and not just with a death, like you
Yes,
said, with
yes.
any catastrophic event.
and changes are just hard sometimes, and I just want everyone to know that you know, just, I say it all the time, but I mean it. Keep on keeping
Keeping on, yes.
Because that light will come back. And it just don't give up. And while you're in the midst of that, do your best to find something to be grateful for. I don't know if you can hear the birds singing, and you know, and it's a nice cool day here, and yet just beautiful temperatures. We're in short sleeves.
Yeah.
And I used to literally just sometimes it would be that I was blinking on my own would make my gratitude list, because I used to not be able to blink, and the nurses would have to come in and put drops in every, I think, you know, it was like every 15 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm sure I was one of their most favorite patients. It's like, I've got to go do drops again. But there's always something to be grateful for. Now, before we jump into where you go from here,
Right.
can you address some of the things that just for you worked in the road trek and didn't work in the road trek?
What worked was the availability, the closeness of having everything that I needed within arm's reach. Being able to, not that I was ever frightened, but just knowing that if something happened in the night that did not feel right, I did not have to get outside and go around to get to the driver's seat.
You can get in the seat and
Get in
turn the key.
seat and turn the key.
Yeah.
And you know, and actually that's how I met Debra, because before I was thinking about, or before I bought it, and I was thinking about this,
yes.
and on YouTube I got on her channel.
Tech savvy again,
Yes,
just
yeah.
is so hip.
And you know, just like I said, having everything that I needed right there, a spot for my dog to be sitting right next to me.
The co-pilot.
The co-pilot, yep. And you know, actually, the hardest part was trying to set up camp, because I always tried to set up camp how we had set up camp. You know, there was a list of things that you
All
did.
that which Tom took care of
that-
outside. Yeah.
You know, I
and that Sue might
supervised
not
and-
even need.
Yeah. But that's the only way I knew how to camp, was
Yeah.
the way we had camped, and it just was too much work to do it that way. So, like I said, I was looking for us before I found me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for being so brave to share that,
Yeah.
because I know it's going to help some people. So
Well,
truly,
thank you. I hope it does. Yeah.
It will, and I appreciate it. And y'all leave her some love in the comments below and let her know that it's helping. And stay tuned for the end of the video where you get to meet Buckwheat. I'll put him on here just
Okay.
so that they get to meet him, because
Okay.
he's such a sweetheart.
Well, I'll bring him out tonight.
Oh, okay. Yes. I can't leave tomorrow without seeing him again.
That's right. He's a Chiweenie.
He's a Chiweenie.
Yeah.
But don't tell him, because he thinks he's Samson.
That's
or
right.
Goliath or something.
Yeah, or so, yeah.
All right. So you've got your new home, and you may even be moving into it as early as next month.
I know.
We don't know. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And you're going to get to keep your quilting table, quilter
Long-arm
machine.
quilting machine,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just the perfect home, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. And thank you for saying I can park in the RV spot. But have you had any thoughts about, in this new chapter of your life,
Well,
what you're going to do for your travel needs?
for my travel needs. Right now, I think that my travel needs will be limited to motels that accept dogs.
Yeah. And there's a ton of them out there.
Yeah. And I will have to check. I have a Toyota Venza. I don't know that it can pull like even a little teardrop.
Wait, that SUV's a Toyota Venza?
Uh-huh.
Okay, see, I've been riding in it for 2 weeks and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You don't know that it can pull what?
That it can has enough oomph to be able to pull something behind it, even
Yeah.
as small as a teardrop. So right now, I've learned that I just need to get my feet wet again on doing solo things for me and Buckwheat, and I'm just not going to rush into it. It would be cheaper to pay for a motel and meals than to invest in another rig that I sell a year later. So that's the plan right now, subject to change.
Oh, always.
Yes.
I shared with her and some of her friends the other day that, for me, I had a plan, and it, the universe and God sometimes has a way of going, oh, isn't that adorable?
Yeah.
She has a plan.
She has a plan. She didn't check with me. Yeah.
So, but that sounds
Yeah.
very doable, very, very relaxed,
Yes.
very casual,
Yes.
and I love that
Yeah.
for you. I'm thrilled for you.
Thank you.
And I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you that you are finding your
Yeah.
life
Yes.
and what works for you.
Yes, and you've been a big help in doing that.
Oh,
You know,
thank
you are truly an inspiration, not just to me, but to many women out there.
Thank
So,
you.
you know, you're dealing with things that I never even thought of.
She's
And
been so patient.
successfully.
She's been so patient with
No.
me. Well, she was having to help me walk yesterday. Literally, I got dizzy. It's a long story. I won't go into it. And people that would look at us would think that I was helping her
Right.
because we were holding on to each other.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just don't always look and assume you know what's going on in a picture.
Exactly.
It was Sue helping me because I wasn't going to be able to make it
Yeah.
back to the car anytime soon without her help. So
I told her she needs to hang around with old ladies more often.
if this is old, I'm on it any day. I'm on it. And the other thing that I want people to know is that that not rushing into it.
Yes.
You know, I didn't have a choice. I couldn't live in sticks and bricks with people because it's too loud. I tried it. And I was tent camping out in state parks because I needed that quiet, and they're not quiet anymore, but at the time they were. And then I got my van, and so sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But if you have a choice, figure out what works for you.
Yes.
What you're going to enjoy, what your
Write
limits
it
are.
down. Don't just think about it, but write it down, because it helps to be able to go back over and
point.
reevaluate, and maybe what you wrote down initially isn't really what you thought you wanted, but
Yeah.
it'll jar the next desire. So
Yeah, give you an
Yeah.
idea for what might
Exact-
work.
yes.
And it's like I can't do hookups, but I can still stay in campgrounds. I just don't do the hookups because
Yeah.
that doesn't go well for me anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's just a million different ways to
Yeah.
do it. And my inspiration is the stories that I hear from people
Right.
like Sue that are doing the deal and learning and growing and being brave to walk through those scary moments.
And they are.
They are. And get back up and suit up and show up.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
uh,
Just accept life as it comes every day.
go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Yep. And
Thank
find a
you.
good friend like Debra.
And best friend right here.
Yes,
Best friend.
yes.
I'm so grateful. And so with that, we're going to close, but stay tuned and meet Buckwheat at the end of the video. Ready? We'll see you down the road, everybody.
Bye.
Buckwheat, you're silly. You're silly.
My mom makes me drunk. Makes me run in circles.
So you can get some energy out. Hello, my darling. This is Buckwheat and Sue.
Oh, get this.
You're silly.
Yep, I agree. Yes, you are. You are silly.
You stay right there.
Okay.
Okay. Feel like stay.
Okay.
It's like Buckwheat.
Stay. Speak.
I'll try not to sound that way on the video.
That's okay.
One of the things that my bag just fell because it wasn't a person. Everything's okay. Camera's still upright, so we're going to keep rolling.
Yeah.
It's actually very quiet.
Yeah, it is.
And it's only a one axle
One
trailer.
axle.
How
Yeah.
the heck is that happening?
Wow.
That's huge.
And he's pulling
It's just a
it.
bumper pull. It's
Yeah,
not even a fifth
no.
wheel. It was probably 30 feet. One axle, four tires, but one axle.
Whoa.
I've never seen that
I haven't
before.
either.
We should have turned the camera around and caught it. Perfect.
Good.